Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to Badgerworks. Today, these. Yes, these are a couple of doors off of a Volkswagen camper van. And today we're going to look at some painting techniques as a special request. So, let's get on with it. So yes, these are indeed the doors from a camper van. The keen-eyed among you may recognise these doors. They're from that god-awful click-together Revel camper van thing that me and Bunny Kitten did on a live stream once. Hateful bloody thing. But anyway, that's not the point. Bunny Kitten contacted me a little while ago and was asking some questions about making stuff look weathered. And specifically how to make paint look faded. And so what I wanted to do was, I kind of went over some things, but doing it over a text chat is not the simplest thing. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk a little bit more about mottling and basically panel highlighting. So that's what we're going to do. So I've taken these two doors, as you can see, and I've given them a spritz of grey primer. It's our usual high coat grey primer. Not a sponsor, but high coat if you're watching. Anyway, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to give these a coat of green paint, and I'm just going to use this XF5 flat green. But honestly, it doesn't really matter what colour you use. It's because this is quite a dark colour, so this will work quite well. So I'll give them a quick spritz of this, and then we'll go on from there. Right, so as I said, this is our XF5 flat green. This is the standard mix I use. It's just 50-50 paint and X20A thinner. So we'll just give the door a quick going over with this. And all we want here is a nice even coat over the whole door. So nothing special here, just put the paint on. Like that. Right, this is dry now, or it's been drying for a few minutes. It doesn't need a lot. We're going to turn to our old friend XF55 deck tan. And what we're going to do, once that noisy aircraft has finished flying over, is we're basically going to highlight the panel. So this is a very heavily thinned mix. This is basically like 80% thinner and 20% paint. And I'm also putting it on a low pressure. This is about 7 psi. So what we're going to do is we basically want to highlight the middle of the panel. And also, because we're not just going for tonal variation with this, we also want to make it look faded. So we're also going to hit some of the areas that would naturally get more sunlight. So like along the top of this ridge on the door here and things like that. So let me try and show you. It's not easy to do this always in front of the camera, but we'll see how it goes. And you don't want to be too precious about it. If you keep the brush moving, you'll get these different patterns. You don't want like an even coat. You just want to kind of cover like this. So you can see how it's kind of blotchy. This is what I call mottling. And I'm also holding the brush about 1 inch away from the model, but what you can do, if you lower the pressure, you can get right in close and you can do it, so if you're doing a very small piece, you can do it that way. And what I want to do as well is, as we get towards the top of the panel, because if you remember, this would be sitting this way, so the light would mainly be hitting it sort of from this direction, sort of from a more, like up, if that makes sense. So I want to highlight the top of the panel a bit more than the bottom. I mean, if this was, say, a roof panel, you could just do it evenly all across, or a bonnet or something like that. But because this is a side panel, what we want to try and do is cover a bit more of the top than the bottom, if that makes sense. And also, again, look at where the light would hit. So like underneath this, there would be a shadow line. So this would be less likely to get as much sun. So we can leave that bit a little bit more. And then we'll try and get onto the top of this door a little bit more. The one problem with doing this is the tip of the needle dries out really quickly. If it dries out and the paint stops coming out, just give it a quick, and that'll clear it. There we go, something like that. Right, so that's had a few minutes to dry as well. We're going to go back to our XF5 and we're going to go over the top of it again. But this time we're going to use a much thinner coat. So again, as I did with the deck tan, this has been thinned to about 20% paint, about 80% thinner. So, and you just want to put this on very lightly, because obviously if you just blast it on and cover everything up, then you'll just basically have wasted your time in your paint. So we'll just put it on very lightly and just slowly build it up until we get to the look that we want. So what you have to remember as well, very important when you're doing this, is you'll see this looks like it's starting to disappear. But I'm doing this on purpose because I want to show you something. So you can see that the deck tan has almost vanished. But I'm going to hit this with a hairdryer for a second and then show you it again, and you can see the difference it makes. So there you go. That was a couple of minutes with the hairdryer, and you can see now that that deck tan is starting to show through again. So as the top coat dries, the coat underneath it will start to show through. So it's always a good idea to put on a very thin coat, let it dry, hit it with a hairdryer for a couple of minutes, see what it looks like, and then add more paint if you need to. So this could probably do with a little touch more. So we'll give it another light going over. And that'll probably do us. So let me hit this with a hairdryer again. Right, and there we go. So I brought the other door in for a comparison. But you can see now on this door is just plain green, and this one looks a little bit lighter, a little bit more faded. So obviously you can adjust how much you want to do it. If you put more of the deck tan on and put less of the green over the top, or whatever your color code is, or anything like that, then you can adjust how faded you want it, and you can also adjust where you want the fading. But that's basically the simplest way to do it. And as I think you'll agree, that there is a distinct difference in those two doors. So there you go. So that was the basic thing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some clear lacquer on these, and then we can look at ways you can enhance that look using some oil paints, just as a little bit of a bonus. So let me put some lacquer on these, and then we'll go from there. Right, this lacquer is now dry, and I've got here some oil paints. This is a set that came from the works. This is Crawford and Black, and this is one of their oil colour sets. And these are pretty good for this kind of thing, because it's kind of funny because they're not particularly great as oil paints because they don't have a lot of oil in them, but they do have a lot of pigment, which makes them very good for weathering. So we're going to use a variety of colours here. So what I've done is I've just put some out onto a little piece of cardboard here. And it's a good idea to use a bit of cardboard if you're using oil paints. Not so much with this one, because like I said, there's not a lot of oil in this, but if you're using most oil paints, what you want to do is kind of leach the oil out of the paint. So if you put it on a bit of cardboard, the oil will soak into the cardboard and just leave you the pigment. As I say, these ones are quite pigment heavy anyway, so you don't really need to. But we've got, so from top to bottom, we have, that's white, that is yellow ochre, that's orange, that's sap green, and that's burnt sienna. So these will give us basically dust, rust, mildew, that kind of thing. But you can obviously use whatever colour you want, depending on what you want to do. So let's get our door back in, and we'll just use an old brush. I bought a ton of these brushes from, I think it was Wish or somewhere ages ago, but I got like 50 of them for £1 or something stupid. But anyway, so what we'll do is, and again, this is just for demonstration, so I'm not going to be particularly precious about this, but just take a little bit on the brush and just to kind of dab it on in you know, strategic spots. We'll get some across the top of the door here, because this is good to simulate rust and things. So yeah, just along the top of the door like this. Anywhere really, just, you know, just put some blobs on like that. And then I have here, this is a makeup brush. This came from the pound shop, I think. But basically what you do is just use this, and this is like a blending brush, so it's perfect for this kind of thing. But you just go over it like that and just kind of work it in. And this is good for doing like streaks and stuff like that, but you can also do it in a circular motion to give you like a dusty effect, almost apply like a filter, and just move it around as much as you want to give you the look that you want. So we'll just work this in. And we'll just give ourselves some nice stains and streaks and things. And the great thing about doing it over the top of the gloss lacquer is, if you don't like the way it works, you can literally just take a tissue and wipe it off. So, but we can do all kinds of different colours and effects. So like if we wanted to do some mildew, for example, again, we can just put that. And you don't have to wipe it off. You can just leave it like this if you want, do whatever you want with it. But this gives you a nice sort of mildewy effect. And again, you just put some wherever you want. Just do a little bit like that, just to show you. And then just kind of work it in a bit. See? And again, if you want to do rust and stuff like that, you can use either the burnt sienna or the orange, depending on what kind of rust you want. I always like to do a little bit around things like locks and stuff like that, door handles. But if you were doing like chipped and cracked paint and stuff like that, you could do little bits like that. And again, just streak it on. And obviously you can combine them as well. So like where that darker rust is, we can do a little bit of the orange as well. Just like that, you see. And that just gives us a little bit of interest and a little bit of weathering. So, but there you go, just to give you an idea. I'll do a little bit more here and there. So like with the white again, if we just put a few little blotches here and there, and then just work them in. Like that. Do a little bit more rust and stuff as well around the door handle. And there you go. And then what we can do is once we've got this where we want it, we can basically just seal it with some either satin or matte lacquer, and that will do us. Right, so here are our finished articles. So hopefully you can see the difference. So this one is more of a control. So that's just the plain flat green with some gloss lacquer over the top of it. It's not the best finish in the world, but it does for our purposes. And obviously on the left here, we have the door that we've just done. And I think you can see there's a notable difference in the shading. So yeah, I also just quickly went over the door handles with a chrome pen just to jazz it up a little bit. And you'll notice again on the right hand door, it still looks like chrome because I did that last. And on this one, I put it on before I put the matte lacquer on. So that way it kind of dulls it down a little bit. But yes, hopefully this will give you some ideas on things you can do with your own models and how to make paint look old and faded. Obviously, we could have taken the weathering a lot more. And if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, if there's anything specifically that you'd like to see, you know, gone over, or at least how I do things, by all means, you know, leave a comment. And we'll see what we can do. I'll say this was primarily for Bunny Kitten's benefit, so there you go. Hopefully that's helped you out, Bunny Kitten. Love you. But yeah, if any of you have got any requests, then by all means, and maybe we'll do a series of you know, little basics videos of how to do, you know, simple things like this. But there you go. So yes, hopefully this has been of interest to a few of you. As ever, I'd like to thank my top tier patrons, Howard, Amy, Chris, and Hawaii Clive O, for their continued support. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers. Bye.